welcome everybody to our teacher event, our celebration of just our teachers. This is such a joy to see so many faces here at East Temple District 518, and we're all here for a reason, to honor our incredible educators. This event is to say thank you to all of us as educators. Our late nights, our early mornings, our creativity, our grading, your compassion, and obviously your commitment. Today is a celebration. It's about recognizing the impact that all of us have, seen and unseen, taking the time to lift up the profession and shape others' lives. So, settle in, have a fun night of celebrating all of these teachers. Enjoy the food and the fellowship. All of us deserve every bit of appreciation. So let's get ready to celebrate some amazing people.
Okay, tonight we have the bittersweet honor of recognizing not just one, but a remarkable group of educators who are retiring this year. Collectively, they represent over 109 years of dedication, passion, and service to our students and to our community. Their classrooms were filled with not just lessons and learning, but we all know they were also filled with laughter, encouragement, and unforgettable moments that shaped generations. So we want to honor you now. So when I say your name, come on up and probably stay up so we can take a photo at the end. And then you receive one of these plants here. So first up, Karen Skoll with 26 years in District 518. Benita Pence, 32 years in District 518. Rhonda Bonstetter, just 4 years in District 518, but many more years other places. Julie Evers, 22 years in District 518. David Blanchard, also 22 years in District 518. And although Marge really cannot be with us tonight, we also want to honor her with 25 years in District 518. These incredible educators have each left a mark on our school district that time cannot erase. As stated by Alexandra Trenford, the best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Thank you, Karen, Bonnie, Rhonda, Julie, David, and Mara. Your service has been a gift, and your presence will be missed more than words can say. We wish you all the best in this next chapter of your life. Your well-earned retirement. Congratulations. Next up, we have Jody Hanson.
So Rodney, we would like to honor you today as our EMW Friend of Education and Outstanding Member for 2025. Rodney, in case you didn't know, has been representing our local as Secretary Treasurer of Education Minnesota, our state organization, for the past 12 years. In that capacity, he has worked to strengthen our state organization, and he has helped support locals who have trouble settling contracts and more picket lines than he can probably count. As an officer, he advocates for our professional rights and the needs of our students. The amount of time he has spent at the state capitol building talking to legislators on our behalf is invaluable. He has garnered the respect of our union colleagues from across the nation. Under his leadership, Education Minnesota has become a model for many other states. Rodney served us locally as a membership chair for nearly the entire time I think he was a teacher in our district. And we learned what a big job that was when he left. And the people that I kind of suckered into doing it after he left know what a big job that was. And he left to train other people all across the state in how to do a wonderful job in keeping track of our members from all across the state. And of course, personally, I have Rodney to thank. He almost made it. For his role in helping my youngest kiddo. Being their 5th grade teacher, and my youngest walked across the stage to graduate as a math teacher, and will be joining our own staff here in Worthington next fall. So, good job, Mr. Rowe. So, thank you so much for all you've done for education and for our students. Thank you.
Rodney, do you want your box? Now it's time to recognize the nominees for Teacher of the Year. Each year, we shine as teachers and as educators who go above and beyond. So that's who are our nominees, nominated from our local EMW members. Those who lead with heart, inspire with passion, and make that lasting impact on not just students, but other educators. These honorees represent the best of our profession. They are the ones who have great challenges with creativity. They create classrooms where the students feel supported and seen. They continue to grow and learn and lead by example. Whether they're being recognized for innovation, leadership, or dedication, the joy they bring to learning, each one of them reminds us why teaching is the calling for them and their gift. Please join in these exceptional educators as we honor these 2025 honorees. Our first one is Erin. Erin has been a dedicated educator for many years in our district, working tirelessly for most of her challenging students in our special education department. She has committed so much time, she has patience, and she helps our students reach their fullest potentials as they can. Beyond her impact in the classroom, Erin is a cheerleader among her colleagues too. She works closely with teachers and paraprofessionals to coordinate schedules and ensuring the students receive their individualized support. Her leadership also offers guidance, problem-solving challenges, and fosters collaboration. There's no matter how demanding the situation is, Erin does remain calm. She's patient, she's focused, and she finds the solutions that our students need. Her ability to lead with kindness and professionalism makes her an invaluable asset to our district. So thank you, Erin, for your dedication, your patience, and your leadership. Do you want to put my certificate? Next, we will have Landon come up. And if I could get Miss Jenny Newman to come on up. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get to the end of this school year. The Intermediate Special Education team recommends Jenny Newman for Teacher of the Year Award. Having had the pleasure of working with her for a few years, we can confidently, and this is the team, we can confidently attest to her exceptional skills, dedication, and passion for education, particularly in the realm of special education. I need to get my glasses on. Jenny's mastery of the Sunday reading program has a tremendous asset to our team, along with her training in the letters program. Her ability to effectively implement these programs has not only enhanced the literacy skills of our students, but also served as a model for her colleagues. Jenny's commitment to the professional development is evident as she is currently pursuing her master's degree, further solidifying her expertise and dedication to this field. One of Jenny's remarkable contributions is her initiative in creating instructional videos for her colleagues. These resources have been invaluable in equipping educators with the tools and strategies needed to effectively teach diverse learners. Her generosity in sharing resources and knowledge has fostered a collaborative and supportive environment within our team. Jenny's leadership skills are exemplified through her role as a leader of our focus group, which aims to revolutionize how we meet the needs of our special education students. Her ability to bring together interventionists, English language, and the general education teachers to work towards a common goal is a testament to her collaborative spirit and visionary leadership. In summary, Jenny is an exemplary educator whose skills, leadership, and dedication make her an ideal candidate for Teacher of the Year with the Worthington Community School District. We are confident that she will continue to bring the same level of excellence and innovation to our school district for years to come. Thank you for considering Jenny to be Teacher of the Year, and thank you, Jenny, for being a great teacher. Next, to introduce the 2025 Teacher of the Year, I would like to invite Holly Hedlund.
Hello, I have the pleasure of announcing our Teacher of the Year. This is someone I look up to, not just physically, since that would be a lot of people, but as a role model in teaching. Congratulations to Mr. Scott Burns for being nominated our Teacher of the Year. Scott Burns is a highly dedicated teacher who strives to make school fun and educational for all students. At the beginning of the day, you will see Scott riding his bike to school to set an example of being eco-friendly. For many years, when he arrived at the middle school, he used to start the coffee machine so that people could enjoy a warm cup of caffeine, coffee, when they arrived in the building. But apparently, the coffee machine is no longer at our middle school. I'm pretty sure the need for caffeine did not leave with the machine, but it is no longer there. So in the mornings, now you will see Mr. Burns still finding his way in the halls and working on making connections with students. Each student he interacts with has a smile on his or her face by the time Mr. Burns is done talking with them. Reinforcing skills is another strength for Scott. Once the day begins, Scott will frequently stand at his door and greet each of the students by name. He will then have them answer an entry question. The questions are always age appropriate. They range from reviewing math facts to remembering which states and capitals go together. I frequently hear things such as, Sacramento is the capital of what state? Then comes the entourage of guesses. Chicago. No, that's a city. Canada. No, that's a country. Minnesota. Mr. Burns smiles and sends them to the end of the line to try again. It adds to the humor of our day. Often students are smiling and there is a sense of unity as students help each other out. Once his Minnesota Studies class begins, Mr. Burns makes learning fun and engaging for his students. He often offers hands-on learning experiences and technology-based projects. He differentiates the learning for each student based on his or her ability level. Many times, Scott reflects on each student and what they can do to help students learn. His experience as an interventionist has allowed him to quickly and easily implement intervention strategies that may benefit a student's education. Scott's linguistic skills and professionalism has benefited students, parents, staff, and our district during referral processes. Due to Scott's strong technology skills, we as staff members frequently rely on his expertise for helping with various programs. He creates easy-to-use forms that pop up on our calendar when we are collecting data for a student who may benefit from interventions. This allows us to continuously focus on the students, the ones that we already have haunting our dreams at night. Mr. Burns goes above and beyond in helping students enjoy school. For many years, Scott was in charge of video announcements. As the times change, so does Scott's willingness to help make learning fun for kids. He now hopes podcasts are interesting and relevant to students. Student interaction is at the core of each podcast as he interviews them and their perspectives on current events. Mr. Burns takes an active role in civics education for all students in the middle school. He helps with projects such as fall mock elections, an Indigenous Day trading post, and the recent Native American Freedom Horse Ride to Worthington. Scott creates fun videos to educate and inform students about current events that impact us and the world around us. As we were enjoying our spring break, Mr. Burns took his wife on a field trip to the historic Fort Snelling so he could prepare our students for their field trip experience this spring. Thanks for going on that date that benefited our students. I'm sure your wife was thrilled with that opportunity.
I stayed home.
Well, I'm gonna have that as a date, lucky you.
The last minute thing.
Scott's dedication to the student, staff, district, and community are unprecedented. We are blessed to have Mr. Burns as colleagues. So please raise your glass and a toast to our new Teacher of the Year, Mr. Burns.
Thank yous. Before I kind of roll into things, if we could just really give another round of applause for Aaron and Jenny. It's taken me 40 years to get here. And I look at how young they are, and I just take great pride and pleasure in thinking about the thousands of kids that they're going to help over the next 20 years. So, congratulations to you for being singled out by your co-teachers as being among the best of the best. So I got to start out with my principles. So I have a list here. For most of my career, I was kind of like 6, and I hate to say that, but it wasn't. I would be 6 years in place, and then we would move on. But my first principal was Nicholas Griffith. Gave me my first job at St. John the Baptist School in Savage, Minnesota. I looked this up. My first contract was for $12,000. Nick was a really interesting man because he was a monk who had left his order to become a principal. And then he went on to be a psychologist. But he got me through my first year. How many of you remember your first year? 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Nick was a man of incredible self-discipline. As a monk, whoever was the head of his order had ordered him at one point in time to water a dead stick every day for a year just to teach him self-discipline. So he helped me learn how to write lesson plans and correct papers and prepare all the things that we need to do as teachers so you can survive that first year. I also have to thank Betty McAllister because she gave me my first chance to come to Worthington. And that's where I found home at Worthington Middle School. Another great principal that I had was Dr. Lipinski. So everybody runs into a principal that if they wanted to, they could walk on water. For me, that was Dr. Lipinski. I don't know why, but when he came to our building, we were in trouble. And he taught us how to work and play nice together again. And that helped staff collegiality, and it was a good thing for kids. Dr. Lipetsky took a special interest in me. He'd often drop by my special education classroom, and he'd just watch for a few minutes, and then he'd be on his way, and he always would follow this up with some kind of teacher chat. I always heard from him in the teacher chats, here's something nice that I saw. Here's another great thing that you were doing in class. But then he would always send me on my way with something to work on. We always need that kind of feedback to get better at our profession. And then I got back Mrs. Bartman. So Mrs. Bartman fully backs her teachers. She let me explore a lot of different things like interviewing students and learning how to make podcasts and build web pages. But she really cares deeply about well-being. Well-being for the kids and well-being for her staff. This year, as a person who's interested in history, I was in a pretty dark place because I was very fearful that we were going to have federal authorities come into our schools and take kids. And she helped me find my way through that. And after talking with her, I got to the point where I knew if I ever faced my Pastor Neil Muller moment, if you don't know who that is, go look him up, that I would do the right thing by my students if that horrible thing ever happened. And then I have a lot of teachers that I'm grateful for. So I think it's easy to shine when you're surrounded by and have the opportunity to collaborate with excellent teachers. I must confess that at heart, I'm a very disorganized person. On my best days, I could give Rich Basil a run for his money with the most cluttered desk award. Early on in my career, I found a solution to this problem. There are super organized people on every staff. And you just have to let them know that I can't tell time. I can't manage papers. And they will gladly let you know what to do if you ask them for help with time management. The speech got done because of urging from them that win or lose, you need to write the thing. I mentioned Rich Basil. When I got fired, he was the first one to welcome me to WMS with his firm handshake and, "Hi, I'm Rich Basil. He has a really good radio voice." From there, it was like, "Oh, you gotta help me with peer mediation, and I want you to help me with video announcements." And the cool thing that we did with Rich is sometimes when Chris was gone, I would have to help Rich sneak papers that he had corrected out to his house and help him hide them in his garage because he really, truly intended to correct them someday. I'm convinced that they are still there. Rich he's been a good friend, and for many years he's kept in contact with me. And I know that the next time we go out for breakfast, it's my turn to buy. One thing I'm proud of is being the first intervention teacher at Worthington Middle School. I was given this opportunity by Jeff Luke and Tony Hastings. I worked with Jill Spiegelhoff for many years in intervention. The experience of working with her definitely made me a better teacher. I was also lucky where my room was located. For many years, WMS had more kids than space. For several years, I had an old art storage room between David Blanchard and Jeanette Jensen. And I learned many things from these two people. No one works harder at their craft than Jeanette Jensen, and nobody invests so much of themselves in their students than Mrs. Jensen. And I shamelessly tried to copy the things that I saw her do. And then I share many traits with David Blanchard. The best ones are faith and trying to see a glimmer of good even in the hardest students to work with. I enjoy his sense of humor, and I often compete with him at riffing and ad-libbing. Humor is so important to teaching, especially in the middle school, because a crazy new thing happens every day. And humor is also very important because we're often very isolated as teachers. I wouldn't be here today without the support of so many good colleagues. Another great learning experience for me was to share a room with Blake Rainier and Amy Benson. For a brief moment in time, we were the dream team of intervention. From Amy, I learned many best practices for running an advisory and building social and emotional skills of students. No one knows how to inspire students to take up challenging tasks more than Amy. From Blake, I learned the necessity of going slow in order to go fast. Are there any high school teachers here? Do any of you know Pawnee Sullivan? Well, Pawnee Sullivan kind of adopted us, and she would hang out in our intervention room a lot. She joined the Girl Scouts when Jeff and Tony brought them to the middle school. And of course, they sell the delicious cookies. And Pa must have sold 7,000 Girl Scout cookies to every staff member at WMS. She collected the money and never wrote down a name. Somehow Blake figured out all of this, got the cookies to the right people, and he saved the world. I would like to thank my 6th grade teammates. They're the best team in middle school. They work together always in the best interests of kids. They also look out for each other. I'm grateful for Mrs. Hibma for pushing me to allow her to write that nomination letter. I told her no first, but that didn't go anywhere. And I also appreciate working with Mr. McLaughlin. He's a great young teacher. We have very different styles of teaching. I get lost in the details, and he can see where you should be at the end of the year. So, in collaborating with him, I'm not spending 6 weeks on the Battle of Gettysburg and getting Minnesota history. And now to my family. I think as a private person, this section was the hardest to put together. And I came up with teachers' families, they're biblical. You know, they support their spouse and their parent when our difficult jobs seem to be consuming us. They always forgive us when we sacrifice family time because we feel compelled to work out some trouble we're having with a student, or we need to work on some piece of curriculum. They celebrate us when we have successes, and they comfort us when we fail. I have to thank my parents for the life that they gave me growing up. I thought I lost my father just when I started to become an interesting person. My teaching career had launched, and Karen and I had started our family. I'm glad I can still share my days with my mother, but I miss my dad a lot. I'm proud of the 5 children that Karen and I have raised. They've become remarkable guys. Most of their positive traits come from their mother, and the disastrous ones So thank you, Thomas and Samuel and Dominic and Quentin, for being here. We have one more, Patrick, who's just too far away to come today. So he's here with us in spirit. And to Karen, I love you. Thanks for being my partner all these years. I wouldn't be standing here today without you. You're truly the better part of myself. Then the books will tell you, you gotta say your thank yous, and then you also have to, tell what you've learned. What movie have I been watching lately? John Wick. And there's a stupid line from John Wick, and it's from his mentor who owns the Continental Hotel, and it's like, have you learned nothing? Sometimes as a teacher, it's like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I don't know what to do with these kids. But I'm going to briefly touch on 3 different things that I've learned in my career. So the first is kind of the devastation of COVID and what it taught. So teachers, they need us. We can't be replaced. Technology, video, kids need us. Our job is hard, but they need us. I also came to realize, we would interact through Zoom or phone calls, just how many kids didn't have that kind of leave it to beaver upbringing that I had. Noisy homes, hard to concentrate. And so it taught me to be a little bit more patient with my kids, a little bit more willing to offer second, third, and fourth chances. Second thing I was thinking about is that, as a country, we need to support public education. We're easy to beat up on because teachers don't usually punch back. Principals tell kids to do that every day, and we practice that in real life. But one of the factors that made us a great nation is that our politicians figured out every child deserves an education. If we look around the world now, there's other countries that are doing school a little bit better than us, and we should look to them to figure out how we can change our school systems. I don't have any idea where this is going, but I know that just passing along students who are not ready for the next grade, it's not a good thing for the child, and it's not a good thing for our nation. My last piece of advice, kind of working this off of Mr. Blanchard too. He has a smile folder while I'm collecting success stories. You should try to pass on your success stories. So, in that first school that I worked with, it was a really small Catholic school. And in 1 grade, I had 3 future West Point candidates. They all went to the military academy. So one of the his dad was a full bird colonel. And when he retired from the Army, he was a big shot in Birdsville real estate. The other one was the son of a Northwest Airlines pilot, and he had flown for the Navy after going to Annapolis. Third student, his father was an Army cook, and he had fallen in love when he was in Korea, and he married a Korean woman, and when they returned to the United States, he continued his Army career as a recruiter, really blue collar. And from this student, I learned, from the first 2, they had all the connections to get into the military again. But the third boy, he worked his way in. And from him, I learned that disadvantage never has to be destiny. Another one of my students, he had big NBA or NFL dreams, and he didn't need reading. He'd been puzzling teachers for years, and I got him as an 8th grader. We butted heads for that whole year. I didn't give up on him. He didn't give up on me. But 4 years later, I was so incredibly proud to shake his hand when he got inducted to the National Honor Society. He still loved sports, but he'd also come to realize that developing a muscular brain was also very important. Finally, I would like to mention how my students actually helped save my teaching career. I worked in the St. Louis County school system, and that is the most unique district in Minnesota. There were 7 little tiny schools scattered all across the Iron Range, but we were one staff. And every spring, they had a grim ritual that they called the Last Supper. Sometimes it went by the name Ball Night. But the union gathered together and they were fed a really fantastic meal. And then the layoffs were announced. So, my principal, Walt Fisher, he calls me late at night. He said, was really apologetic, told me I lost my job. And I thought I could just go to school the next day and teach like a normal day. But lots of time in life, news travels faster than you realized. In my first period class, Gary Lampo politely asked if I would miss him. And man, my head hit the desk and tears poured out. And I know it had to shock the kids because I couldn't hear a sound. And one of them must have got up and had the fortitude to walk down the hallway and get Mrs. Bowen. And I told you, about those teachers that are organized. So Miss Bowen came down, got everybody out. Again, I didn't hear anything. And they let me grieve in my room for a while. And I think that's one of only 3 times in my career that I got to go home early that day. But the big surprise came days later. Most of my middle school and high school students at Tower Sedan, they organized a protest. They made signs, they walked out of classes, and they paraded up and down the main street of Tower for a couple hours until Mr. Fisher walked 2 blocks and told Dad it was time to come back. The real magic happened a short time, a while later, when the more senior teacher decided to pursue opportunities somewhere else. I got my job back. Kids can do remarkable things. And kids want to do remarkable things. Okay. ChatGPT helped me with this, but I wrote the question. And when I looked for a source, it said this is original, so I'm not really stealing anything here. It's called the Teacher's Prayer. And some of you pick up on the TV show this is rolling out. I'm a teacher, but I can change if I have to. I guess. I'm a teacher. I've chosen a noble profession, or maybe it chose me. I believe in education. Even if half the class forgot what I said 5 minutes ago. And the other half is Googling what's Sigma and Skippy toilet. I try to stay calm even when the Wi-Fi goes down. The fire drill interrupts my prep. And then someone raises their hand to tell me a story that has no connection to class and also has no ending. I'm resourceful. I can turn a paperclip into a behavior management tool, coffee into a miracle, and a 3-day weekend into a reason to keep going. I'm not perfect. I've taught with a stain on my shirt and outfits that don't match. I've taught with an outdated lesson plan and the faint smell of dry erase marker in my hair. But I'm still here. I'm still teaching. I'm still hopeful. Still dodging fidget spinners and unsolicited comments about my age and personal friendships with ancient historical figures. Learning matters. Kids matter. Even the one who asked if teachers live at school. So I'll keep showing up, I'll keep laughing, and I'll keep teaching. But I can change if I have to. I guess. All right, I want you to raise your glasses up now. 2 teachers.
All right, as we come to a close at this really great evening that we have been celebrating such remarkable people. Wow, Scott, that was awesome. So it was entertaining and it really summed up what this job is. But I want to thank each of you for being here, not just tonight, but every day. Tonight was about us, our dedication, our passion, and the difference we all make. We hope you all leave here feeling celebrated, appreciated, and reminded that we are valued. It doesn't feel like it every single day, but isn't it nice once in a while? So keep inspiring, keep leading, and most of all, keep being the amazing educators you are. And as you leave, don't forget there's plenty of food left. Please, please, please eat it. If you like the tulips, grab one and take it with you. And have a safe and wonderful rest of your evening. Thanks.